Hello, 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 everybody. Okay, so we have got some more filings that happened in the Bryan Kohberger case. So as soon as we get a bunch of people in here, we will get going on that. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Sarah. Or good afternoon, I should say. Kate Bell. Hello, 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 everybody coming in. Just finishing getting everything else set up here. Sarah, Kate, Compute. Hello, everybody. Tarot Destiny. Hello, hello. Okay, so we have more filings. I wasn't thinking we were going to get anything until Monday, but we have gotten some more documents that were filed. So those of you who seen my live yesterday, we went over the documents that were filed on the 23rd. Now these were filed on the 24th and they just hit the record late last night. So there were a couple things that we were waiting on. We had seen in the last hearing that Ann Taylor had said that she would be filing some motions like that day. One of them being a motion because the FBI went to see one of their witnesses. There was another motion she was going to file regarding cameras in the courtroom. But we went over some yesterday. They filed some more memorandums for having the grand jury indictment thrown out. There's just a lot. So now, not only has Ann Taylor gone after the media, the prosecution has also filed a motion, and we are going to start with that one. The first thing that I want to show you guys, whoops, because this is a live stream. So any live streams or any videos that I put out between August 23rd and September 23rd, and you give a super chat, or if you're a replay watcher, there is a little heart below each video where you can do a super thanks. Any super chat or super thanks, $10 or more, gets you entered into a draw that I will be doing on September 23rd. And this is just some of the stuff that is going to be in the package that I am going to be drawing from. So any $10 or more super chat gets you on the wheel, and that will be done live on the 23rd. This set here itself is valued at almost $60. You got the bracelet, the necklace, and the pendulum. This is rose quartz. Also an oracle deck from Doreen Virtue, and a bunch of other little things I'm going to be throwing in. So if you do want to get in on that $10 super chat, you're in on the wheel, and you can enter as many times as you want. Hello, Vera. Okay, so with that being said, I just wanted to let you guys know that. Let me get this up on screen, and then we will get started. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Vera. Yes, please smash that like button on your way in and let people know that we are live. Okay, so this is, let me just go full screen with this for you so you can all see it. Hello, Shannon's Copper. Welcome. Okay, so this has been filed by the prosecution. We'll get this one out of the way first before we get on to Ann Taylor. We know Ann Taylor can be very winded, so we'll get this one done first. This is the prosecution. They filed this on the 24th. We didn't get it until late last night, so hence why I'm going live again today. Also, you guys, the video, I had to re-upload it again this morning. It should be ready by the time we're done this live. It's a new Ancestor read. I know all of you guys have been waiting for it for a couple days. I've been really having a hard time with it, getting it processed. And that's not me, that's YouTube. I don't know what's going on with the glitches, but It should be available once this live is done. So once you've seen this, give it about 5 minutes. Let me get over there and check it and make sure everything is correct. And that will go live when this one is done. So watch for that one. I'll also post it in the community tab, the link to that read. Okay, so here we go. This is the state's motion to extend time to respond to the defendant's motion to dismiss indictment and continue the hearing. Wait till you guys hear this. Like I said, we know Ann Taylor is just like throwing everything that she can. Wait till you hear what's in this. So comes now the state of Idaho by and through the Latah County prosecuting attorney and respectfully moves this court for an order extending the time for the state to respond to the defendant's August 23rd motion to dismiss indictment based on grounds of biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, prosecutorial misconduct in withholding exculpatory evidence. Now, just because the defense says this doesn't make it true. Pamela. Let me just get back over here. Pamela, that gets you 2 entries. It does so your name will be on the wheel twice. And you will be able to see that on September 23rd when we do the read. We will be putting you on the wheel twice. So thank you so much for your donation. It is very much appreciated. And it's my little way of giving back to you guys. Okay, so like I said with this withholding exculpatory evidence, the defense can say whatever they want. It doesn't mean that it's true, right? So the defendant's motion was filed on the afternoon of August 23rd and was accompanied by a memo in support comprised of approximately, listen to this, 109 pages. So do you remember when we were going through things yesterday over some of the documents yesterday? And the defense requested an order that their motion that they filed on the 23rd after the court hearing could be filed under seal. Well, it was. The judge granted that. So now we know that there is 109 pages. And this is what Ann Taylor has been doing. Every time she files stuff like this, the prosecution has to take time away from getting everything ready and, getting together what the defense is asking for. They have to take time away from that to respond to this, to read through 109 pages, and then file their own responses. Now, from what I am getting from this is they now have to go back and read the whole grand jury transcripts, because in these 109 pages are the defendant's arguments regarding the grand jury. So 109 pages. And we know she's going to bring up all the laws and cases, and she's going to, in her motion, you're going to see all these older cases from the late 1800s, early 1900s. I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. Okay. So let's continue. 109 pages, 49 pages of which were made up of the defendant's arguments and the balance made up of various exhibits, which include affidavits and other materials. Among other things, the defendant's motion asserts detailed factual and evidentiary issues that will require not only review and submission of the entire grand jury transcript, so that the court is able to assess the defendant's claims in context. Hello, Tara Destiny. Hello, Nana. Jenna. Hello, and welcome. Again, we are doing a live, so any $10 or more super chat gets you entered into the draw that we are holding. So just to let you guys know who are coming in. as well as what appears to be complex scientific representations and disputes. So, what does that mean? That means they probably got more witnesses that are going to or have given scientific representations and disputes. So, do we know what that is? Nope. Why? Because it's all under seal. In light of the above, the state is unable to properly research and respond to the defendant's motion by August 30th, nor be prepared for a substantive hearing on September 1st. The state therefore respectfully prays that the court extend the time for responding to the defendant's August 23rd, 2023, 109-page motion to Wednesday, September 14th, with any reply from the defense due by September 20th. The state further prays that the court will vacate the hearing currently scheduled for Friday, September 1st. Now, this is going to be done. And reset the same for September 22nd. The state concurs with the defense request that their grand jury motions be heard at the same time. So they've agreed on it. Okay? So it's going to be a stipulation that they're in agreement that all this is going to be done on the 22nd. The state prays that the hearing on the defense's prior motion to dismiss the indictment based on the burden of proof also be continued. Okay, so this burden of proof thing is another motion that they filed that they want a hearing on, that they are fighting what the grand jury burden is. Is it beyond a reasonable doubt, or is it preponderance of the evidence that they have, right? Probable cause. And that also to be continued and set concurrently with the hearing on the defendant's August 23rd motion. Pamela, hello. The state has asked defense counsel whether they are agreeable to this request, and they have indicated their agreement. See Ms. Taylor's signature below. The state further requests that the court extend time and reschedule as requested without hearing, or alternatively set an expedited hearing on this motion to extend time for Friday, August 25th because of the shortness of time. 109 or 106? 109 pages. That is just them saying these are all the things that we found wrong with the grand jury indictment. Plus, they have another motion saying that they want it squashed and thrown out to begin with anyway, because they based their true bill, which is the indictment, by probable cause instead of beyond reasonable doubt. So that's going to be fought about. So much is going to be fought about. So that's where we're at. This is the filing that the state did. So now we are going to go to Miss Taylor. And she has gone at the media's throat. And here it is here. So, Nancy Taylor, public defender. This was filed on the 24th at 3. We didn't get it until late last night. So, motion to remove cameras from the courtroom. We knew this motion was coming. Now, is the judge going to do this? I don't know. Once you see what they are proposing, and there's photos also with this motion, I think that she has been very selective in what she has taken. The judge made an order a while back saying, if you want cameras in the courtroom, you can't just have the camera directly at Mr. Kohberger. Like they're zooming in, watching his jaw move, stuff like that. You have to show the courtroom as a whole. Now, does that mean that they can't zoom in once in a while? No, but they didn't want the cameras constantly zooming in on Mr. Kohberger. Okay. So, also there was other news crews in there that just had cameras so they could take still pictures. There was nothing really mentioned about still photography, but they did mention the judge was very stern on saying, do not keep the camera directly on just Mr. Kohberger's body face. Okay. So I do think that they did a pretty good job of that. The audio was horrible, but I do believe that they were pretty good with keeping the camera off him directly. Now, the camera angle does show Mr. Kohberger. It shows the back of his defense team. It shows the prosecution. It shows the judge. 99% of the hearing. Did they zoom in on him once in a while? Yes. Does that go against that order? I guess it depends on how you view that order that he made. I don't think it does. So let's go here. So this is Ann Taylor. She says, comes now, and this is 7 pages. There are photos here too that you're going to be able to see. I think she makes some outlandish claims here on some parts. She just wants the cameras gone now. I did notice on Twitter that some people were posting photos that were taken of Bryan Kohberger as he was entering the courtroom, which is fine. But what they did was they zoomed in on his crotch area and seen that his zipper was down a bit. When I seen the picture, you can clearly see he has obviously put on some weight because he couldn't button his pants. So he's got his belt just holding that top part closed, so his zipper's down a bit. And they're making a lot of derogatory comments regarding that. And I think that's what finally sent Bryan over the edge. I think Bryan is really in control of a lot of this stuff. So I think he has shown stuff by his attorneys and told things by his attorneys. I don't know what kind of access he has to like a tablet, something like that. I know some jails do allow them. But I don't know. But it seems that, you know, people are taking things to the extreme and it could result in us losing the cameras in the courtroom. So let's get through this. Comes now, Bryan C. Kohberger, through his attorneys of record, and files this motion to remove cameras from the courtroom for the remainder of the proceedings in this matter, pursuant to his right to a fair trial and the effective assistance of counsel guaranteed him by the 6th and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution and Article 1, Section 13 of the Idaho Constitution. So she gives a bunch of reasons why she wants them removed. Okay. Camera wielding courtroom observers have, I like how she's camera wielding courtroom observers have failed to obey the court's June 27th directive to cease focusing exclusively on Mr. Kohberger, necessitating the expulsion of cameras from future proceedings. Now, this is true. There was a court order directing the camera operators from focusing exclusively on Mr. Kohberger. I don't think that they have focused exclusively on Mr. Kohberger. I think that there's going to be a good argument against that. And I don't think that that argument is going to come from the prosecution. I believe that the prosecution is going to agree with Ann Taylor on this. So for those who have been doing this outlandish stuff with the photos and videos and everything, you can thank them if the judge takes away cameras in the courtroom. Now, the only one that can really fight this is the media themselves. They can prove that they were not focusing exclusively on Mr. Kohberger. They had Like I said, 99% of the time it was on the full courtroom. Could you see him? Yes. Could you see the defense lawyers? Yes. Could you see prosecution? Yes. And the rest of the courtroom. There were times they did zoom in on him, but that's okay. They weren't exclusively. That wording is very important. And I think that this is what the media is going to fight. And this is why they're going to fight it, because they weren't exclusively zooming in on him. So the question presented by this motion is whether Mr. Kohberger faces deprivation of his right under the 14th Amendment to due process by the continued televising and broadcasting of this trial. Again, they are bringing up a case from 1965. Recent press behavior in the courtroom clearly demonstrates that such is the case. Nearly 2 months ago, on June 27th, the court warned press observers not to focus strictly on Mr. Kohberger and to show a wide shot of the courtroom if they wish to continue filming court proceedings. Right. And they have not strictly had the cameras focused on Bryan Kohberger. 99.9% was a wide shot. But they say that they had to do that if they wish to continue filming. Fox News, and they're citing some things here. Fox News, Bryan Kohberger judge issues warning to media at start of hearing on Idaho student murders, June 27th, available at this link. The press observers have thus far failed to comply with the court's direction as the continued publication of the images, such as those shown below, continues to the present day. Now, before I show you these pictures, you can't stop other people like YouTubers and people on TikTok and people on Twitter and people on Facebook from taking still photos from the live coverage. So Court TV has the right to have their cameras in there, and then they show it once the motions hearing or whatever is over. Now, if somebody watches that coverage and takes a still picture from that coverage, that is not on Fox News or Court TV. That is on whoever's doing it, right? So this is what they're complaining about, okay? They say that press observers have thus far failed to comply with the court's direction and the continued publication of images such as those shown. Well, yes, he had a hearing. News can report on that and show a picture of him when they are reporting on him. This is normal in any news outlet that's covering a case, that they're going to put a picture of who they're covering. But they don't like it. They don't want no pictures taken of them. So the judge did not say, now this is Lewiston Tribune that posted this picture. And as you can clearly see, it's on a lot of the court, not just directed. You can see the cameras here. But anyway, I think that's maybe they're just showing something. But anyway, Reuters and Reuters again. So Reuters had posted this picture. Reuters had posted this picture. You can't stop other outlets, whether it be content creators, Twitter creator, whatever, or other news outlets, from taking still pictures from the camera footage. What do you guys think? I'm not seeing any chat going on. Is my chat totally froze again? Let me know. Somebody type something in the chat, because I don't know if my chat is frozen again. Somebody put something in the chat, please. Uh-oh. I'm not seeing anything be put in the chat. Is my chat frozen? Somebody? Anybody? Okay, chat's fine. Okay, I thought it was frozen. There we go. Okay, I thought it was frozen because I wasn't seeing any of your guys' chat. I'm glad to know that I'm not frozen. Thank you, you guys. Okay, so they say these photos, a blatant violation of the court's directive to cease focusing exclusively on Mr. Kohberger in their own right, are also later appended to the articles with blatantly sensationalistic and prejudicial headlines and content. You can't. This is a major case. Major. And news outlets around the world are going to be commenting on this. You can't stop them from whatever headline they choose to use, just like I used mine today in my thumbnail. Media defense attacks the media. Right? You can't stop people. And I did that on purpose, you guys, okay? You guys know me. I don't usually sensationalize things like that. But after going through this, it was like, are you kidding me? You can't stop people reporting on this the way that they're going to report on it. They are going to use photos of the person they are reporting on. Just like when there's an earthquake, they will use a photo of the earthquake that happened. It draws your attention to what the story is about. You see it in a picture before you even start reading. So I do think that she is going to extremes here. And I am hoping that the judge does not take away the cameras. But let's continue. She's got 7 pages here. There's more photos, which I feel she's going to the extremes. Okay. Where was I? In prejudicial headlines in the content, the rightmost of the 3 photos above being used in an August 22nd Daily Beast article that says, report says, Kohberger's creepiness with women goes back to high school. So this picture was used of Bryan in this story stating, report says Kohberger's creepiness with women goes back to high school. Okay. Here's the picture they used. I'd be more concerned if they honed in on his face in this one, because he looks more creepy in this one than he does this one, but they're complaining about this picture. That's right. Shannon's copper. I agree. Okay, it gets worse. It gets worse. Wait. Oh gosh, just wait. And I want your guys' opinions. This is full screen, so this will be the biggest, but I'll try and zoom in on it so you guys can really see it good. I want your opinions on if she has a case with her next photos. Okay. Further, the cameras continued exclusive focus. They did not continue exclusive. They showed the courtroom. What do you want us to do? Cut him out of the court photos? Cut him? Like, this is allowed. Like, you are pulling a 5-year-old temper tantrum right now. They were not exclusive. Focus on Mr. Kohberger provides fodder for observers and purported analysts on social media who are not bound by notions of journalistic integrity and who have potentially an even greater reach than traditional media outlets. The proliferation of these images and videos is plainly observable on social media platforms such as TikToks and X, formerly Twitter, in posts such as those provided below. Okay, so this person posted, what's he so happy about? Because he's got this smile. Here's the one about the zipper. Okay, so that one, yes, I agree. That should not be there. Come on, you guys. Have some couth. You know what I mean? So they're talking about these pictures being used. As the press itself notes in the court's June 27 obnation of the court referencing the recent Chad Daybell trial, when cameras were asked to leave because they focused too much on the defendant. Okay, in that, you just contradicted yourself. You're saying that they're exclusively focusing on Bryan, and yet you're going to use this reference because they focus too much on the defendant. Well, that's not what the judge ordered. The judge ordered to not exclusively have the cameras on Kohberger. Okay, so here's the news article about that. Indeed, such a parallel was drawn in the defense's prior memorandum on cameras during hearings. Yet camera-wielding courtroom observers remain undeterred. Come on. The chief function of our judicial machinery is to ascertain the truth. The use of television, however, cannot be said to contribute materially. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Materially to this objective. Rather, its use amounts to the injection of an irrelevant factor into court proceedings. Wow. Oh, she's absolutely long time no see, plucky little puppet. But absolutely, she's trying to direct the narrative. If you see my video from yesterday, I state when she says, okay, well, we want our September 1st hearing. We've already waived speedy trial. We're going to have but we still want our September 1st hearing, which was in a document that gives a schedule, right, of how things are going to go. She still wants that September 1st hearing, even though they've waived speedy trial. And once the court makes a decision on that, then I want to immediately schedule a trial date again. And I don't want to be doing this over and over and over again. I want one scheduling of a trial. Give me a minute. Just give me a second, you guys. Okay, hopefully I can get through this, you guys. If you hear me mute, it's because of my throat. Okay. Hopefully I can get through this. If not, I'm just going to scan it so you can read it. What's happened is I had, they did a scraping of my throat, and it was, I don't know if it's because it's healing, but it feels like there's something moving in there, and it's making me cough like crazy. Give me a second. I am so sorry about that. Like, I can feel it moving in my throat and it's making me cough. Oh, so I just got something cold. Hopefully that like maybe freezes it a little bit. Sorry. So let's continue on this. So as previously been argued, the circumstances present in Mr. Kohberger's case are singular and pose an extraordinary risk of prejudice beyond even that posed in Estes. Observers continually fail to comply with the court's June 27 directive. It compounds this problem and results in the potential jury pool's constant inundation with conclusory accusations and sensationalistic nonsense guised as factual reporting and analysis. Oh my gosh. Whereas the attendant risk of prejudice was limited to potential jurors watching of television or reading of print media, now this risk follows of the potential jury pool wherever they go, viewable on their smartphones and constantly updated by thousands of unchecked sources, which are talking about YouTubers, people on Twitter, stuff like that. Each juror carries with him into the jury box these solemn facts and thus increases the chance of prejudice that is present in every criminal case. It is not only possible but highly probable that it will have a direct bearing on his vote as to guilt or innocence. The images and videos provided above were taken during pretrial court proceedings but pose no less danger. To the contrary, they gradually poison the potential jury pool. So now she's saying that these were taken even though they were taken during pretrial court proceedings. She's saying they still pose a danger. So even though she's not showing proof that they are honing in just on Bryan Kohberger, she's saying the photos that are out there are already posing a risk and no less danger. Well, they're already out there. It's like, this just doesn't make sense to me. To the contrary, they gradually poison the potential jury pool prior to trial even occurring, by noting the number of jurors able to render a just, unbiased verdict. Well, everybody across this world knows about this case and has seen his photos and everything else. Stopping cameras now is not going to do, if she considers that it's doing damage, it can't do any more than it's already done. You can't hide this from the people. The people are entitled. They have a right. She keeps talking about Bryan Kohberger's rights, his rights, his rights, his rights. Well, the people of America and the people around the world also have the same rights as Bryan Kohberger. And one of them is to have an open and transparent judicial system. And she wants to take that away. He's already taken 4 lives off the face of this earth. Now she wants to, the judge to take away more rights from others. It's just like unbelievable. I'd like to see where she's going to be able to prove that they have been exclusively focusing on Bryan Kohberger. I don't think she can do it. But is the judge going to side with her? I think he will if the prosecution sides with her too. I think he just may. But the media will have a good fight here because they didn't do what she's accusing them of doing. They cannot control what other TikTokers do, what other YouTubers do. They can't control that. So they have followed what the judge ordered. To the extent, to render a just and unbiased verdict, to the extent that television shapes settlement. Well, now you just want to take television away from everybody? Like, he shouldn't have done what he did. This is a case of interest across the world, not just the United States, but across the world. And now you want to coddle him and protect him and keep his face off of televisions. What he did to those 4 students took away his rights. So she's saying that it can strip the accused of a fair trial. The court itself noted that unrestricted television coverage can be corrosive to non-trial proceedings and preemptively limit the potential for an eventual fair verdict. It is contended that this 2-day pre-trial hearing cannot be considered in determining the question before us. We cannot agree. Pre-trial can create a major problem for the defendant in a criminal case. Indeed, it may be more harmful that publicity during the trial, for it may set the community opinion as to guilt or innocence. Through the September hearings dealt with motions to prohibit television coverage and postpone the trial, they are questionably relevant to the issue before us. So this is what she is citing. Yeah, it's like he's not the victim here. Okay, so she's citing another case here. As such, far from constituting, and she's picking out certain places that she wants in here, and this is why I feel the media is going to have a good chance here to have this denied. As such, far from constituting an undue and over-restrictive burden of the press, right of free speech, expulsion of cameras used to flout the court's limited directive that Mr. Kohberger not be the sole focus of the images, and he hasn't been. So it's like, you just don't want the cameras there at all because you feel if the cameras and that are taken away, that people's interest in this case will go away. It's not going to happen. You can't keep reporters out of the courtroom. They can still write about what has happened and what. So, I mean, we're still going to get the information. There's still going to be reporters in the courtroom, even if you take their right away from taking photos or camera, they're still going to be in there reporting on it. It's still going to be in the media, and they are still going to use the pictures that they already have. So doing this is not going to be a benefit. All it's going to do is take away constitutional rights of everybody in the United States to have an open and transparent judicial system. Yeah, what Nana says, what happened to transparency? Whatever happened to the right of the people and the public interest, right? But he's not been the sole focus of the images. Yes, because this is all about him. He did this. He did this to himself by doing what he did, right? So yeah, if you're going to do a news article about Bryan Kohberger's hearing, you're going to have a picture of him. Like, I don't know what planet she's fallen off of. Like, what am I going to do? Put a picture of my dog there as I'm talking? We're talking about the Bryan Kohberger case, but I'm going to have a picture of my dog instead of Bryan Kohberger? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And videos taken is the sole means of limiting what the Essex court expressly recognized to be a form of mental, if not physical, harassment. So she's claiming that by people taking pictures of Bryan Kohberger and the cameras in the courtroom, it's a form of mental, if not physical, harassment. Are you kidding me? The inevitable close-ups of his gestures and expressions during the ordeal of his trial might well transgress his personal sensibilities, his dignity, and his ability to concentrate on the proceedings before him. Really? You want to talk about his dignity? Look at what he did to 4 college kids. You want to talk about dignity? Talk about transgressing his personal sensibilities and his dignity, and his ability to concentrate. The 4 lives that he took, they don't have that opportunity, so neither should he. Sometimes the difference between life and death. Oh my gosh. Nothing like sensationalizing something, right? She's doing exactly what she's accusing the media of doing. Just passionately, freely, and without the distraction of wide public surveillance. You should be under public scrutiny. Look what you committed, 4 murders. You should be under public surveillance.
A defendant on trial for a specific crime is entitled to his day in court, not a stadium or a city or a nationwide arena. Similarly, Mr. Kohberger is entitled to defend himself against capital criminal charges without cameras focused on his fly. Told you that was going to be brought up. They weren't focused on his fly. Okay, so when this picture was taken, this is the picture. The cameras in the courtroom and the photographers in the courtroom didn't hone in on his area here. That is somebody on TikTok or whatever this is on that honed in on it. So they're trying to punish the news outlets in the courtroom and the cameramen in the courtroom for something somebody else did. They took whoever did this, Phil Foss is the poster. You can see right in this area here. He is the one that zoomed in on that, not the camera crew or anybody that was there taking photographs. So that's disturbing. Like, you're out and out putting lies there. This is not done by the cameras that were in the courtroom. This was done by somebody else on Twitter or TikTok or whatever that they focused on. Any picture, you can put a picture of a beautiful dog there. They can zoom in on that dog's nose and eyes. That's what happened. It wasn't done by somebody in that courtroom. Somebody in that courtroom did not break the judge's order. But because people are doing this on TikTok and whatever, she's going to try and blame it on the people in the courtroom. And this is where I think the media has a good fight. They didn't do that. Observers continued minute scrutiny of counsel's table. Oh, here we go. Wait till you see this. Observers continued minute scrutiny of counsel's table is violative of the court's May 16th order governing courthouse and courtroom conduct and distracting to defense counsel. The camera's behind them. In addition to the ignorant and exclusive focus on Mr. Kohberger, like, stop it. It was not exclusively on him. Courtroom observers have routinely violated the court's May 16th order, providing in part that the video or still photograph that no video or still photograph shall be taken of any papers, documents, or notes which may be located on or around counsel's table or used by counsel. This noncompliance is clearly demonstrated in the below provided photos taken during the most recent hearing and has continuously undermined the court's stated interest in maintaining order and environment that permits all participants to focus on their responsibilities without undue distractions. Aware of the constant attention paid to counsel table and the risk that confidential and sensitive information could be scrutinized, photographed, and published, defense counsel has been forced to divert their attention to ensure notes and other materials are hidden from prying eyes. Look at this. Okay. So this is News 7 who showed this. Let me see. Can I make this bigger? Yes. Okay. So they're saying, and I'll show you the other photograph in a second. Let's make this bigger. Can you see what any of that says? Now, this is not the camera shot from Court TV. News 7, as you can see down in the corner here, re-uploaded their footage with this zoomed in image. The cameras in the courtroom didn't do this. This was from a wide angle. As you can see, this one, can you read anything that's on those papers? This is also Law and Crime that took Court TV's video and zoomed in it. You cannot read a thing that's on these. But she's saying because of this, people can see what their paperwork is there. This exact conduct was found by the Estes court to be circumstances depriving the petitioner of a fair trial. The petitioner was subject to characterization and minute electronic scrutiny to such an extent that at one point the photographers were found attempting to picture the page of the paper from which he was reading while sitting at counsel table. Whereas in Estes, this conduct was characterized as a singular and extreme occurrence. In the present case, it has become disruptively routine and must be abated if Mr. Kohberger is to receive effective representation. Okay, so this is a zoomed in image that Law and Crime did, that 7 News Channel did. This is not coming. This is taken from a zoomed out image of what Court TV showed. Now, if people take that camera footage and then zoom in, I guarantee you, even if it was done with a big black Sharpie marker, you wouldn't be able to read what's on the papers. She doesn't want the cameras looking at Bryan Kohberger at all, or their table now, or their table. Even though the judge said, show the wide courtroom. Did they zoom in on Bryan Kohberger? I think once or twice they did. But she's now saying that they're trying to take pictures of her court documents and she's afraid they're going to be able to read them. Like she is going, I think she needs some medication. Sorry. Like she's going over the top here. She's going to extremes. Like she's sensationalizing things that are going on, and she's doing exactly what she's accusing everybody else of doing. It's okay for you, but it's not okay for everybody else. She's saying everybody else is sensationalizing everything. Well, so are you, but it's okay for you to do it. Nothing like calling the kettle black, Miss Taylor. So conclusion, the press have failed to obey the court's directive to not exclusively photograph and record Mr. Kohberger to the exclusion of all else. They haven't done that. So they did not fail to obey the court's directive. You cannot blame the court who is in the court recording this. You cannot blame them for something somebody else does. And that's the fight that I think Court TV is going to have. So they're going to say, Kohberger to the exclusion of all else, jeopardizing his ability, and this is bull, because they didn't just keep it focused on him at all. Jeopardizing his ability to undergo fair judicial proceedings free of undue prejudice and juror bias. Well, I'm telling you right now, if anybody has any way that they feel, it's long been done. Nothing that is seen here is changing their opinion if they already, people like myself. Just because I see him sitting there, you're not going to change my opinion on him. My opinion was formed when I seen the probable cause affidavit. That's when I formed my opinion. As such, cameras must be expelled from the courtroom for the duration of Mr. Kohberger's case, including pre-trial as well as the trial itself. She wants them gone. And that's it. So that's what we have now. She wants the cameras gone. Sensationalizing things, yes. I think she's lied in the document because it wasn't exclusively on Bryan Kohberger. I watched that whole thing. Did they zoom in maybe once or twice on Bryan Kohberger's face and when he entered in the courtroom? Yes. But the judge's order was specific. You are not to continuously just focus on him. Expand it, widen the shot. In 99% of that court hearing that she's saying was only focused on him was the whole courtroom. I could see the judge. I could see the stenographer. I could see the defense table. I could see the prosecution table. I could see the door that he came in. I could see the sheriff deputies. So who's sensationalizing here? And especially, oh, well, the camera's pointed at our table. They can see our papers. No, they can't. Stop it. Who's sensationalizing things? So I think she's going to extreme here, and I don't know. I don't even have a feeling right now what the judge is going to do. What do you think the judge is going to do? I think the judge will remove the cameras if the prosecution agrees with this. The thing is, Nana, even if you zoom in, say you take a picture of that and try and zoom in, it gets so pixelated. Even if she had something in big letters with a black Sharpie, you wouldn't be able to read it. So it seems like every time she asks for something like this, okay? I don't want the camera zooming in on Mr. Kohberger, blah, 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 blah. Or we're going to file a motion to have the cameras removed. So the judge says, okay, he makes the order. Do not just focus on Bryan Kohberger. Can you focus in a couple times? Yes. But the majority of the video must be of the whole courtroom. And that's exactly what they did. Other news outlets and everything zoomed it in when they reused that footage. That's not on court TV. That doesn't mean court TV violated the order. Court TV stuck to exactly what the judge said. You cannot just focus on him. So now that she got that order, that's not good enough. Now I don't want them even looking to what, you know what? No, never mind not even photographing the defense table. Now we just want the cameras and still photographers gone. Because taking pictures of Bryan Kohberger is not right. It goes against his rights. You're making him uncomfortable. You know what I mean? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section here. What do you guys think? Could you see anything on them papers? And I mean, I zoomed right in. And then it says, sure, I have bionic sight. But you can't see anything. Oops, I thought you guys were still on screen here. You can't see anything on those documents. So these are the documents that have been filed. Again, the only one, call it melodramatic, whatever you want. I think what Ann Taylor is trying to do, I think there's one picture and one picture in particular that peeved her off is when whoever this is on Twitter or TikTok or whatever that zoomed in on a picture that was taken of Bryan and seen that his zipper was down a bit and they made comments about it. That's what I think sent her over the edge. Exactly, Kate Bell. They can. Yeah, you couldn't see anything there on those papers. Hello, Jeff, and welcome. Comte says, I couldn't see anything. Yeah, unless you have bionic sight. So Miss Horse Whispers makes a good point here. What social media people talk about is freedom of speech. They can't control opinions. If he didn't want to be in the news, he shouldn't have committed the crime. Exactly. Giovanni says, Ian Taylor is melodramatic. Yeah, he's loving this. Nina says, trying to make him a victim. Yes. And it's sickening. It is. It is sickening. Well, basically, Kate, that's what it was. The camera was behind the prosecution's table. So it got the prosecution, the defense, it got the door that he came in, it got the sheriff's deputies, it got the judge and all the ladies sitting down below the judge. It got the whole wide courtroom. Once, I think there was, 3 times that they focused directly on Bryan Kohberger. Once was when he came walking through the door, and twice when he was sitting down. Yeah, I watched it too. There was no exclusive camera on him. Nana, you make me laugh. You make me laugh. Okay, so Jeff says BK does an awful thing for 10 minutes or so, and it has people talking for almost a year now. Maybe a year or more to go. Yeah, BK is loving all this. I think he likes the attention. Don't forget, he didn't get this kind of attention. I used to say to friends of mine, I had one child growing up that out of the four of them, that he would do things to seek attention, and it didn't matter whether he got good attention or bad attention. He was getting attention. And I feel Bryan Kohberger is the same way. He doesn't care if it's negative or positive attention he gets. He's getting attention. This is something that he didn't have through all his years, right? Failed at almost everything. That came out in my read, December 3rd. Go and read that, you guys. Go and see that read. This is before Bryan Kohberger was even known to anybody but the cops. That read pulled it, like nailed everything right on the nail of the head. Described Bryan Kohberger to a T, including he failed at everything, which he did. Even in that, it said that he was probably giving lectures or something like that at these universities. This was December 3rd, you guys. Everything came out in that read before any of us even knew who Bryan Kohberger was. Yeah, exactly, right? So that's what's been filed, you guys. By the looks of it, the September 1st motions hearing is going to be vacated. And I believe, let me just go back here. Okay, so what is going to happen is they are going to get an extension to respond to the defendant's motion to dismiss the indictment that they filed on August 23rd. So it was 109 pages. For those of you just coming in, please go back to the beginning and you can see all this. I have it up on screen. 109 pages the defense filed on the 23rd, right after the court hearing. 49 of the pages, which was made up of the defendant's arguments, and the balance made up of various exhibits, which include affidavits and other materials. So they're asking to have it extended because they're not going to be able to reply to all those pages by August 30th. So they're asking, just see here, extend time for responding to the defendant's August 23rd motion to Wednesday, September 14th, with any reply from the defense due by September 20th, and then to have a hearing regarding all of this on the 22nd of September. So I don't believe that they will be in court unless something else pops up. And like I said to you guys, I believe that Ann Taylor, she wants the death penalty removed. She wants the indictment tossed out. She wants the cameras out of the courtroom. She wants all this stuff, right? She wants her hearing on all of this. And if that stuff doesn't go her way, I think that we are going to see the defense try and enter a plea deal. So if the judge doesn't take away the death penalty and all that, that is probably going to be used again by Ann Taylor to try and strike a deal. Remove the death penalty and he'll plead guilty. At this point right now, she waived the right to speedy trial, in my opinion, so she can get all this evidence that is still outstanding. She claims there's something from the lab. She wants to have these hearings, okay, to see if she can garner another alibi or, mold an alibi around everything. Because once she has everything from the prosecution, then she can see, okay, can we get an alibi out of this somehow? Can we facilitate an alibi using their information against them? Right? This is my opinion. Okay. I feel like once she has all that, if the judge denies taking the death penalty off the table, if the judge goes against her on a lot of these motions, I feel that, and another big one besides having the death penalty taken off the table, if she can't get a trial date set really quick, which she still wants a speedy trial, even though they gave up their rights to a speedy trial. She still wants that speedy trial because after these hearings are heard, she wants a trial date set immediately, and she only wants a trial date set again once. She's not doing this over and over and over again. So if she doesn't get that stuff that she wants, I think they are going to try a plea deal. And one of those things is going to be the death penalty comes off the table and we'll plead. I also think that she's going to ask that if he pleads guilty, that the sentences are concurrent instead of consecutive, which ain't going to fly. This is what my opinion is. You may have a different opinion, but this is what my opinion is. This is what I think is coming. What? Hey, Lori. Willow, how often in your home does your shower not have a shower? What? I think that's a little too personal to be asking here. I always have a shower curtain on my shower. Anyway, so that's what I think. Here's Lori. Long time no see. Nice to see you here, my dear. That's what I think is going to happen. But like I said, it's just my opinion. I have seen many times that in cases that I worked on in my 30 years working in the legal field, I seen a lot of people change their tune once they see the evidence that is actually against them. Where there is solid, even if it is circumstantial evidence, it is a solid piece of circumstantial evidence that you cannot get out of. I've seen it many times. And this isn't about having a public defender because we were not public defenders. And people were paying good money, I'm telling you, to the lawyers in the firm. People were paying good money. But if we can't get you out of that, if we can't make that piece of evidence go away or seem implausible, then we can't make it go away. And if it's something major, you're taking a risk. And I have seen many where we had maybe a slim chance of maybe getting one juror to say no, to cases where we thought we had a good case until something else was given over to us. And it was like, oh God, here we go. So I do believe that if she doesn't get everything she wants and that they can't explain away the major parts of the evidence, then I believe there's going to be a plea. I see it coming. So it's good with my legal background and being an intuitive and a card reader. You can blend the two together, and the legal background sometimes helps. But I do see it coming. So I just wanted to get that on record that I called it first, that I do believe that they are going to try and get a plea if she doesn't get what she wants. Joy. Hello, Joy. Okay, Jeff says, Brian's apartment had no shower curtain. I think it was used in the crime. Well, what I believe is that he did have something covering the seats and that in his car. That's why there was no, and then even if there was some kind of DNA in there, it was the bleach that he used to clean out his car. But I do believe he had his car covered. He's not stupid by any means. That's for sure. Exactly. Shower curtains are great for keeping water off the floor and red stuff out of the elantra. Just something I was pondering. Okay, Belle, I can't imagine living being that focused on the whereabouts of all my DNA. It's like the movie Katara. Just as I think he shed all his clothes, wrapped them in a shower curtain, and put them all into the trunk. That could very well be too. I don't think he had the time to do that. I think he had the car covered. If you look at the timing, he took off out of there like a bat out of hell. Okay? Now, there is some time missing between the amount of time it would take here. I will pull up, get rid of this so I can show you exactly what I mean. Jeff, you were bringing up some good thoughts here. So let me bring this up so I can show you exactly what we're talking about here. Okay. Let me get this up on screen for you. Okay. That's the problem that I have with him maybe taking off his clothes and wrapping them up in something as he came out of the residence. I don't think he had the time. Because when he leaves, this is the residence here. When he leaves and comes out here, down around here, down around here, and he starts driving down this highway here. Sorry. We figured out how far that was as the crows fly. 6 miles. But what I did is I mapped this out on Street View for directions and followed this to see the timeline that it would take for him to get to here. This is the first cell tower. Once he turns his phone back on after the killings, this cell tower picks him up. Okay? Somewhere in this area. He's picked up by this cell tower and his phone coming back on. So we know what time his phone came back on. We know what time he left here. There's like 18 minutes missing. So if you do this drive on Street View and go down here, say it takes 7 minutes to get from here all the way around here and down here. It takes 7 minutes, but his phone doesn't turn on. This is where he turns his phone on until like 28 minutes later. So his phone is here 28 minutes, or I don't know the exact times. I'd have to look back into my documents, but there is a big discrepancy in how long it took him to get to here. There's missing time. So I feel that's where somewhere in here that he got rid of the murder weapon. It's somewhere in this area here because his phone didn't come back on until here. So we know what time he was here after leaving here. And there's a big discrepancy in time where his phone should have, if this is where he was going to turn on his phone, it should have only took him 6 minutes to get here, but it took him 28 minutes. So there's time in between here where there's time missing. So that's what I'm trying to get at with what I'm saying. That's why I think it's somewhere in here that he got rid of the murder weapon and the clothing. Somewhere in here. That's why I think he had his car covered. I believe, and I've said this right from my very first reading, before we knew any of this, this is like the end of November, beginning of December. I knew by my reads that he parked up here behind the house and that he went through these forest trees here and down in through the kitchen, that he went up to Kaylee and Maddie first and then got Ethan and Zana on the way back out. I think they were just collateral damage. I think they came out of their room to maybe go to the kitchen or something, and he seen them as he was coming down from the 3rd floor. That was in my read before we knew anything about where he parked, anything. And I was called crazy. Oh, this crazy card reader. I mentioned that yesterday too. But right from day one, just a week or so after the murders, I said, this is where he parked. He parked here. He went in here. He went upstairs and got Kaylee and Maddie first, came back downstairs, Ethan and Zana, and then took off back out here and took off. I didn't know which way he went, but I knew he took off. But the court documents state that when he took off, he was parked here. He didn't go back this way. So maybe this camera picked up his slamming of the trunk. I don't know if he even did that. I don't think he has the time to do anything but get the hell into his car and get the hell out of there. As he leaves the area, and he's on camera here, okay, they have him coming down this way, and then his phone pinging here. This is where I think he finally took a breath, got out of his car, got the stuff off himself, and got rid of the clothes and the knife. He didn't have time to do it here because he was seen at 420 speeding away. He didn't have time. It's not really a straight shot. The camera that catches Kohberger. Now, this was done way back in the beginning of December. Anyway, the camera's here. He parked over here. The camera has a clear shot of this area right here. I don't know if I can draw a line or a shape. This camera here captures this area. It doesn't have a clear shot. This camera captures this area. That's how they see him come up and come around here. Come up, come around here. Come up, then he goes here. He backs up, then he goes here. Or he comes in, backs up, and then goes back out this way. I'd have to go back and look at all my notes on it, but that's what it is. Oh, gosh. I didn't want to do that. Whoops. Anyway, that's what the camera captures. Well, this is one of my theories too, Jeff, is that, let me just get this out of the way. You look at this area, okay? There is no reason for him to be in this area unless he knows somebody. There's no corner store. There's no little gas station here. There's no Walmart that you have to come down through here to get to this Walmart that's over here. There's nothing there. Okay. Unless you know somebody, because these here are a lot of dead end streets. Even coming down this way, there are a lot of dead end streets that just bring you back out to the same street you were on. A lot of dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end, dead ends. One entrance in, one entrance out. A lot of dead end streets here. So unless you know somebody in this area, this is a dead end. 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 These in here are roundabouts, dead ends, dead end over here. Unless you know somebody in this area, you would not be in this area just out driving around. Yes, please mask your words. Okay, so cell towers. There's a cell tower right here. And there's a cell tower up here, right here. I think there's another one over here somewhere, but I just haven't. Oh, maybe that's it right there. No, it's over here somewhere. There's another cell tower. So if he was up in this area where all the stores and shops and everything are, he'd ping off at this tower, or this tower here. This tower services this area. There's no reason for him to be down here in this. This is the main road coming in. It's the university. This is all the shops and stores and everything are all over up in this area. Any of these areas up here would ping off of one of these other towers. This tower services this area. So, and then as you go down, this cell tower services a bigger area. There's another cell tower over here. So, I mean, I've gone in depth on this. Let's just see what else is here. Hang on. Like I said, the whole area there was dead end. Okay, Comp 2, thanks for coming out, hon. Yes, you got to mask your swear words in that because YouTube will strike me. Hello, my guest. You have an idea about his travels? Happy Saturday to you too. Hey, Rose. I'm woozy going home, David. Brought my iPad so I could hear you while I got out here. Oh, well, I hope you're okay. Email me. Let me know what was going on, Rose. I'm a little behind in chat here, you guys, so... Oh, cool. Cool. We know they got a lot of stuff back from AT&T and Google and this and that and all kinds of stuff. So, well, thank you, Jeff. You have a great day too. Rose, thank you. Rose. So now you have 3 entries. Rose. For everybody wondering what I mean by that, I'm going to stop sharing here. Every time you give a $10 super chat, you are entered into the wheel. And I will show you here. Your name is entered onto a wheel. And once a month, I will spin that wheel to see who wins what we have up for that month. This month, from August 23rd to September 23rd, we have this. I'm going to add some more stuff to this, you guys. But you have a selenite stick. There's a lot of protection stuff here. There's a chakra bracelet. There's a bracelet here. This is rose quartz, the bracelet, gold tone bracelet with the necklace and pendulum. You got a keychain with the cardinal. I'm always with you. Some more bracelets here, gems from all over the world. This gives you an idea of what some of the gems are here. We call them crystals. Archangel Michael deck from Doreen Virtue. These are going to be a collector's item, you guys. This is unopened. It's still in its plastic. So I suggest, unless you want to start reading cards, don't open it, because it is going to become a collector's item. A lot of Doreen Virtue cards now are going for like $300, $400, $500. So they will become a collector's item. So that is what we will be drawing for. So it's my way of giving back. You guys give super chats and super stickers. It's my way of giving back. I put your name on the wheel for every $10 that you give. I put your name on the wheel. So right now, this is Rose just gave $19.99. That gives her 2 chances on the wheel. 1 name on the wheel for each $10. So you got 2 entries there, plus the one that you had from before. So now you got 3 entries into the draw. Hey, Mama. I've got your angel wings back up on your wall. I fixed them, Mama. Jeff, you're feeling lucky. Jeff, your name will be going on the wheel, and you've got 1 entry right now. Spin that wheel and call my name. The draw will be held on September 23rd, and it will be live. And it will be on my channel under the live tab. For anybody that can't make it when the live draw is happening, it will be up there for you guys to watch. So good luck, Jeff. Your name will be on the wheel, and I will be doing that live too, also putting everybody's name on the wheel live. So there's no question that this is going to be all done in front of yous. Yes, good luck to everybody. And Rose, every Sunday, you guys, so tomorrow, 11:30, I will be having the mini read. So if you do want a mini read, come and join us. I start tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. If you do get a mini read, your name is put onto the wheel. And at the end of the day, tomorrow, the end of the mini reads, I put your names on the wheel and I draw for a prize that you guys can get. So a lot of people that get their mini reads done on Sundays get extra entries, because every Sunday I also do a little giveaway for everybody who has gotten a mini read for that particular Sunday. And that's done at the end. So usually I start about 11:30 in the morning Eastern. Usually by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're usually wrapping up our mini reads, and then I do the draw right away. So that's tomorrow, you guys. So hopefully I'll see a lot of you guys tomorrow also. But this is a part of what I will be putting into the basket for the draw. As I add more things, you guys, I will show them in my lives. Kate Bell, you getting a read tomorrow? Good. I can't wait to see you. Okay, so that's what I got for you guys so far. I'm hoping that there's no more motions filed, but you know, Ann Taylor, she gets all excited and she gets pen happy there, or, you know, control happy, and she gets tons of motions. And this is one of the, like, 109-page motion. This is what has slowed down getting to trial. So, yes. Migas. Also, you guys, on any of my videos from August 23rd to the September 23rd, the replay crew, even if you're watching this in replay mode, there's a little heart below each video. You may have to click the 3 little dots there to get the heart to show up. But exactly where you can push save and all that, or join if you want to join memberships. The join button there is there too. There's a little heart there with a $sign in it that says super thanks. You can also enter there by giving a $10 super thanks. So with that being said, we're going to wrap this up. And I will see you guys all tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, where we will be doing our mini reads. Hope to see you all there. I'm going to end it like I always do. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Always be aware of your surroundings. I love you guys to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now.